Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. Tyreek Hill's situation with the Miami Dolphins has been a roller coaster of emotions and speculation throughout the 2024 offseason, sending shockwaves through the NFL community. After a somewhat frustrating 2023 campaign that didn't meet his own lofty standards, Hill's comments following the Dolphins' Week 18 loss to the New York Jets set off a media frenzy. In a moment of apparent frustration, the star wide receiver suggested he might be opening the door to leaving Miami, igniting rumors about his future. This cryptic statement sent waves through fans and analysts alike, stirring intense debate about whether the Dolphins could or should consider trading their 8-time Pro Bowler. However, what followed was a quick and public backtrack from Hill himself, as he issued an apology to quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, demonstrating his commitment to smoothing over any rifts within the team. His candid admission showed a player aware of his value and the importance of unity in a team sport like football. Hill's apology seemed to calm the immediate storm, but the trade buzz didn't die down entirely. Miami's offensive struggles during the 2024 season added fuel to the fire. Despite Hill's undeniable speed and talent, the Dolphins missed the postseason, partly due to quarterback Tua Tagovailoa missing 6 crucial games. This combination of offensive inconsistency and star frustration made fans question whether the Dolphins' commitment to Hill would last through the long term. With 959 receiving yards in 2024, down from his usual elite output, some speculated the Dolphins might consider reshaping their roster to better suit their evolving game plan. Yet, insiders and many analysts continue to stress the rarity of a player with Hill's skill set, especially given the sheer explosiveness he brings to the field. His presence on the team remains a critical factor in Miami's hopes to turn their fortunes around in the near future. Amid swirling rumors, the San Francisco 49ers emerged as a potential trade destination, sparking widespread excitement among NFL followers. The idea of Hill joining a different offensive system led to endless speculation about how he might fit into the 49ers' game plan and what impact his speed and route running could have in a new environment. Trade chatter is a staple of NFL off-seasons, but when it revolves around a player as impactful as Hill, the stakes feel higher. However, Jeff Kerr of CBS Sports was quick to call the trade talk an overreaction, urging fans and media alike to temper their expectations. Kerr's take highlights a common narrative in sports media. Early season frustrations and isolated comments can often be blown out of proportion. Still, the persistence of these rumors shows how tightly fans are watching Hill's every move. Financial considerations add another layer of complexity to Hill's situation in Miami. He is locked into a substantial contract worth $120 million, with 3 years remaining and a massive $51.8 million salary cap hit looming in 2026. This kind of financial commitment makes any trade scenario challenging from a management perspective. The Dolphins have invested heavily in Hill, and moving such a high-profile player would require intricate negotiations and cap maneuvering. This financial backdrop underlines why the Dolphins might hesitate to part ways with Hill, even in the face of some frustrations. From a strategic standpoint, the team's leadership likely sees Hill as integral to their offense's identity and hopes to build around his exceptional abilities rather than dismantle a core part of their attack. Miami's offensive inconsistencies in 2024, largely due to Tagovailoa's injuries, exposed vulnerabilities that understandably tested Hill's patience. The star receiver is known not just for his speed, but for his game-changing impact on any given play. His stats in 2023, 1,799 yards and 13 touchdowns, speak volumes about his elite status in the league. Such production cannot be easily replaced or replicated. For Miami, maintaining Hill's presence on the roster is crucial, especially if the Dolphins want to be serious contenders in the near future. While the 2024 season didn't go as planned, it's clear that the team sees Hill as a cornerstone of their offensive efforts. The possibility of trading away such a pivotal player would be a drastic move unlikely to be taken lightly. The dynamic between Hill and Tagovailoa remains a key factor in the ongoing narrative. Hill's apology to the quarterback was not only a gesture of reconciliation, but also a reaffirmation of their partnership on the field. Tagovailoa's health and performance directly influence Hill's ability to produce at his best. When Tagovailoa plays well, Hill's impact is magnified. This interdependence makes their relationship vital to the Dolphins' success. Fans and analysts alike understand that any disruption in this chemistry could harm the team's playoff chances. The current situation suggests both players are committed to overcoming obstacles together, emphasizing the importance of teamwork and mutual respect within the Dolphins organization as they navigate a make-or-break 2025 season. Trade rumors are a double-edged sword in professional sports, especially for a player of Hill's caliber. On one hand, they keep fans engaged and the media buzzing, creating an atmosphere of excitement and uncertainty. On the other hand, they can distract players and destabilize locker rooms. The Dolphins appear to be handling the situation delicately, reaffirming their trust in Hill while addressing any lingering concerns. This approach signals that Miami's front office values both Hill's athletic contributions and his presence in the locker room. The delicate balance between managing player relations and controlling the narrative is crucial in maintaining team morale and focus. For now, the Dolphins seem intent on keeping Hill as a vital piece of their offensive puzzle, pushing back against the swirling trade rumors. Looking ahead, Miami's ambitions for the 2025 season are clear. A strong playoff push with Hill leading the charge. The team's coaching staff and management are focused on resolving the offensive inconsistencies that hampered the previous year, while maximizing Hill's unique skill set. Hill's speed, agility, and ability to create separation remain unmatched, making him a weapon any team would covet. As the Dolphins refine their strategy and build around key players, Hill's role as a primary offensive weapon becomes even more pronounced. The synergy between him and the rest of the squad, especially a healthy Tagovailoa, will be critical to achieving their postseason goals. It's a high-stakes environment where every play and decision could define the team's trajectory for years to come. In the grand scheme, Tyreek Hill's commitment to the Dolphins underscores the challenges of maintaining star talent in today's NFL. While trade rumors will always swirl around marquee players, Hill's recent actions suggest he's focused on redemption and success. In Miami, his apology and subsequent dedication to the team highlight a player invested not only in his personal performance, but in the collective goal. The Dolphins' front office, meanwhile, faces the ongoing challenge of balancing salary cap realities with the need to field a championship-caliber team. Hill's presence, despite occasional turbulence, remains a cornerstone of that vision. As the offseason progresses and the 2025 campaign draws nearer, the narrative around Hill will likely shift from speculation to performance, putting the spotlight back on his game-changing abilities. Ultimately, the story of Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins is far from over. The drama, speculation, and high emotions only add to the intrigue surrounding one of the NFL's fastest and most explosive players. Fans are eager to see if Hill can overcome the frustrations of the past season and lead Miami to new heights. The team's loyalty and willingness to back their star receiver reflect the value they place on his talent and leadership. As the Dolphins prepare for what could be a pivotal year, all eyes will remain on Hill to see if he can translate his speed and skill into playoff success. Whether the rumors turn out to be just noise or foreshadow a major shift, one thing is out clear. Tyreek Hill's impact on Miami's football future is undeniable, and his journey will be captivating to watch. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL world is buzzing with what might become the most shocking twist of the 2025 offseason. Whispers are growing louder, and insiders close to the situation are hinting at something no one saw coming. MINKAH FITZPATRICK, the longtime defensive anchor of the Pittsburgh Steelers, could be on his way back to where it all started. Miami. That's right. The same MINKAH FITZPATRICK who forced his way out of the Dolphins back in 2019 after disagreements with the coaching. Staff might be preparing to reclaim his throne in the Sunshine State. The idea seems wild, almost impossible, considering how deeply he entrenched himself into Pittsburgh's identity. But in today's NFL, loyalty is as fragile as a one-year deal. The rumor started quietly with vague social media activity and cryptic interviews, but it's grown into a legitimate storyline fans can't stop dissecting. Is this a betrayal or simply unfinished business coming full circle? Now, let's be real. Minkah Fitzpatrick isn't just any safety. He's one of the most cerebral, versatile, and flat-out dominant defensive backs in the game today. Since arriving in Pittsburgh, he's transformed the Steelers' secondary, becoming a multiple-time Pro Bowler and a vocal leader in the locker room. He's intercepted passes, forced fumbles, and become the glue guy holding together a sometimes shaky pass defense. So, the idea of him walking away from all that? It's hard to imagine, but that's exactly what makes this potential twist so intoxicating. Multiple sources are now reporting that there have been backdoor conversations between Fitzpatrick's camp and Miami's front office. While tampering is obviously a serious concern, the Dolphins are clearly intrigued by the idea of a reunion. And Minkah? His recent comments about unfinished chapters and wanting clarity on his career direction have only poured gasoline on this blazing rumor. Here's where things get spicy. If Minkah Fitzpatrick does decide to jump ship, it's not just about geography or nostalgia. It's about power. In Pittsburgh, Fitzpatrick shares leadership with veterans like TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward. But in Miami, he'd instantly be the guy, the undisputed quarterback of that secondary. Sources suggest that Minkah has grown tired of playing second fiddle when it comes to defensive play calling and decision making. In Miami, especially with Vic Fangio rumored to return as defensive coordinator, Fitzpatrick would be given the green light to operate with full autonomy. We're talking Ed Reed levels of control. This isn't just a career move, it's a legacy play. Returning to the franchise that once doubted him, proving everyone wrong, and dominating the AFC East on his own terms. This could be Minkah's ultimate redemption arc. And let's not forget the Dolphins themselves. After an up-and-down 2024 season that ended in yet another disappointing wildcard exit, Miami's defense has been a clear point of scrutiny. The secondary, despite moments of brilliance from Jevon Holland and Xavier Howard, lacked a true centerpiece, a leader who could diagnose plays before they happen and elevate the unit around him. With Howard aging and Byron Jones long gone, there's a leadership vacuum waiting to be filled. Bringing back Fitzpatrick wouldn't just solve a schematic problem, it would ignite the entire locker room. Imagine a Dolphins defense anchored by a motivated, possibly vengeful Minkah Fitzpatrick. It sends a message to the league. Miami is done playing nice. They want dogs. They want leaders. They want titles. And Minkah might just be the missing piece to that puzzle. Of course, the Steelers front office isn't exactly known for letting stars walk away quietly. Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have built a culture around accountability and toughness. Losing Fitzpatrick, especially in such a dramatic fashion, would be a blow to their defensive identity. But some insiders are saying the relationship has quietly soured. Fitzpatrick's role has shifted slightly over the past 2 seasons, and there have been subtle disagreements about how he's used. Less freedom, more rigid assignments. Fitzpatrick has always thrived in chaotic, instinct-driven defenses. And Pittsburgh's increasingly structured approach may not be playing to his strengths. So when you factor in personality clashes, system fit, and perhaps even financial motivations, the idea of a split doesn't sound so outrageous after all. If this is truly the end of the Fitzpatrick-Steelers marriage, it might not be as sudden or unexpected as we think. Then there's the fan angle. Pittsburgh fans, notoriously loyal and passionate, would feel deeply betrayed. This isn't a random cornerback or a second-string safety we're talking about. This is Minkah Fitzpatrick, the heart of their secondary, a player who represented stability during years of inconsistency. The backlash would be nuclear. Social media would explode with jerseys burning, tweets flying, and passionate calls into radio shows demanding answers. But for Dolphins fans, this would be a full-circle moment of triumph. When Fitzpatrick left in 2019, many called him a diva, a malcontent. Now, he's a battle-hardened veteran returning to right or wrong. It's poetic. The same fans who once booed him would now welcome him like royalty. The narrative shift would be enormous. And that kind of story sells both in locker rooms and in the eyes of NFL marketers. The Dolphins know this, and so does MINKAH. Financially, the move would require some serious gymnastics. Fitzpatrick's contract with the Steelers still holds weight, and trading him wouldn't be easy. But nothing in the modern NFL is impossible when there's mutual interest. If the Dolphins are truly ready to make this move, they'd likely need to restructure deals, move pieces, and perhaps even ship out draft capital. But when a player of Fitzpatrick's caliber becomes available, even just theoretically, teams listen. And if MINKAH himself is the one pushing for it behind the scenes, the wheels can turn fast. Miami has shown in recent years they're not afraid to swing big. From Tyreek Hill to Jalen Ramsey, they've built this team like a Madden roster, and adding Fitzpatrick would be the next logical and flashy step. Don't be surprised if things escalate quickly over the coming weeks. Now let's talk about the locker room dynamics. If MINKAH Fitzpatrick returns to Miami, what happens to Javon Holland? Does he slide into a complementary role? Or do the Dolphins reimagine their entire safety setup to maximize both talents? Some experts say the two could form the best safety duo in the league, reminiscent of Troy Polamalu and Ryan Clark back in the Steelers' golden era. Others wonder if egos might clash. Fitzpatrick is not one to play second fiddle, and Holland is no shrinking violet. But what if the chemistry clicks? What if this pairing creates a new defensive identity in Miami? Fast, intelligent, aggressive. It's a tantalizing idea. It would also make Miami's secondary the scariest in the AFC East, hands down. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and even Patrick Mahomes would need to think twice before testing deep against that kind of back-end power. And from MINKAH's perspective, the storybook nature of this potential return cannot be overstated. In a league where careers are often shaped by circumstance and timing, the idea of Fitzpatrick rewriting his Miami chapter as a conquering hero is just too compelling to ignore. Think about it. The Dolphins gave up on him, doubted his instincts, boxed him into roles he hated. He left, flourished, and became a perennial All-Pro. Now, with Miami desperate for leadership and hungry for a championship, he could walk back into that building and say, "This is my team now." It's the ultimate mic drop. It's vengeance, validation, and vision all rolled into one. And if that storyline unfolds on Hard Knocks or NFL Films, oh man, TV gold. You can't write better drama than that. And Fitzpatrick knows it. The only question now is, will he make the leap? As training camps draw closer and rosters begin to take final shape, this rumor refuses to die. MINKAH Fitzpatrick hasn't publicly committed to staying in Pittsburgh. The Dolphins haven't outright denied the whispers. And everyone, from beat writers to anonymous Twitter accounts, is waiting to see what happens next. There's a scent in the air, the kind that tells you something big is brewing. Will this be another offseason sizzle that fizzles out? Or are we truly on the verge of witnessing a generational heel turn in the NFL? One where a star safety defies expectations, defies loyalty, and returns to the very place that once pushed him out? We don't know for sure, but one thing's clear. The NFL lives for moments like these. Betrayals, comebacks, redemption. If this is real and not just smoke, we're all about to witness history. Stay tuned because MINKAH Fitzpatrick just might be coming home. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.